What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Central Man here, so this is going to be my predictions for match day 1 of the new Premier League season. Premier League 2019-2020 season. So we're going to start at tonight's game. This game will be at Anfield. The game will be at 8 o'clock, so we've got nearly 1 hour time. So the first game is Liverpool, the current European champions. They host the new promoted club Norwich City. And this is going to be the first Premier League game with VAR. I'm going to predict a 3-0 win to Liverpool over Norwich. Because Liverpool needs a good start because they missed out of the league title to Man City last season. I think they need a good start to have any chance of keeping Man City up, challenge Man City again for the league title, and maybe one day overtake Man City and do one better to win the league title for the first time since 1990. As for Norwich City, I said in my predictions of the final standings of this season's Premier League season, I don't think Norwich City will get relegated, but I think they're going to have a pretty slow start. So, that was the Friday's game. Moving on to the Saturday's game, the Saturday 10th of August games. So we start with the half-time kickoff game. The game will be at the London's ground. That is West Ham United taking on the current Premier League champions Manchester City. Looking to win the league title for the third time in a row. The first team to win the league title 3 in a row since Man United nearly a decade ago. So I'm going to predict a 4-0 win for Man City. They're going to bully West Ham. West Ham, just because they signed some Spanish players, they did a bit of a transfer spree this summer, doesn't mean they're going to do well in the season. They're not going to do what they did last season, not last season, but a couple seasons back. They finished 5th. That was a one-off. But I'm not crapping on West Ham fans, but I don't think they're gonna win some games in August, but I think they're gonna lose or draw some games in August. At the beginning, some games in August. As for Man City, I don't think they'll slip up this month. They'll do well this month, but I think they're gonna slip up in September or October's time because you got the European games and the League Cup games. So, 4-0 win for Man City at West Ham. Moving on to the 3 o'clock games, we got Bournemouth taking on the new promoted club Sheffield United. I'm going to say a 3-0 win for Bournemouth over the Blades. This is Sheffield United's first Premier League game for over 12 years. The last time they played in the Premier League was against Wigan Athletic in May of 2007. They lost 2-1 to the Latics, that's Wigan Athletic, and the Blades got relegated that season. I said this season the Blades will go down. I think they will go down. I think I think they could lose all 4 matches or 3 matches of this month. They just don't have any Premier League experienced players apart of Phil Jagielka. For Bournemouth, they'll probably, like West Ham, they'll win some games, but other games not so much. Okay, and then we got one game at Turf Moor. We got Burnley versus Southampton. I'm gonna say a 2-1 win for Southampton. Moving on, and then we got a game at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace versus Everton. I'm going for a 1-0 win to Everton over Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, they lost Wan-Bissaka to Man United, but they managed to keep Will Zaha to the club. As for Everton, they bought Andre Gomes from Barcelona on a permanent deal. They bought Moses Kean to Juventus, and also they brought Alex Iwobi to Arsenal on deadline day yesterday. But they'll get the European place this season. But they'll probably, I don't think they'll beat Crystal Palace 3-0 in my opinion. But I think they'll probably scrape a 1-0 win at Selhurst Park. So moving on to the game at Vicarage Road, we got Watford versus Brighton. Man, I'm going to say probably a 1-1 draw. And this is basically Graham Potter's first match, as a top flight manager. But I don't think he'll get his first win. I think they'll drew at Watford. I guarantee they'll go down. Brighton will go down. Sheffield United will go down. Because for Graham Potter, he doesn't have any experience managing the top flight. Maybe in Sweden, but this is not Sweden. This is the fastest, toughest leagues in the world. He needs to adapt. But I don't think they'll lose. But I think they'll probably scrape a 1-1 draw. Okay, and then we've got the 5:30 kickoff. It's at the Tottenham Hotspur ground. We got Tottenham Hotspur, the last season's Champions League runners-up. They taking on new promoted club Aston Villa. I think this is going to be a Tottenham win. Tottenham win, 3-0. I'd say 5-0, but I'm going to say a 3-0 win for Spurs over Villa. Moving on to the Sunday's game. Sunday, 11th of August games. So, one game kicks off at 2 o'clock. We got Leicester City taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Man, this is a difficult one. I go for a Wolves win over Leicester, but I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think it will be a lot of goals. I think Wolves will probably challenge for the European places this season. Not Champions League places, but trying to challenge for a place to play in the Europa League. I think they got a playoff match of the Europa League later, really next week. So they need a good start in both in the league and also in Europe. So yeah, I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll go off a little bit of a slow start. I'll go with just basically a 2-2 draw. Leicester 2, Wolves 2. Okay, then we got a game at St James's Park. Newcastle United taking on last season's Europa League finalists Arsenal. 100% I'm going with a 3-0 win to Arsenal. Because, Newcastle United, this is Steve Bruce's first game in charge of the Magpies. But I think they're going to have a very, very shit start of the new season for Newcastle, man. I don't think they'll win some games, but I think they'll lose a lot. I think they'll get relegated. Yeah, I predict that Sheffield United, Brighton, and Newcastle, Sheffield United, and Brighton will go down. But I think for Arsenal, they are. I guarantee they could get top 4, but I think they're gonna. I said in my predictions they'll get top 4 Arsenal, but I think they'll finish 5th. So that was the 2 o'clock game. Moving on to the final game of matchday 1 of the new Premier League season. This game will be at the Theatre of Dreams. That's Old Trafford. We got Manchester United taking on the current Europa League winners, Chelsea. This is Frank Lampard's first game in charge of Chelsea, and this season is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season as United's boss. I said to myself, I think United will beat Chelsea, but they lost Roman Lukaku. No, I call him Roman. Romelu Lukaku to Inter Milan. Sorry, they lost Lukaku to Inter Milan. I think I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. I think Chelsea, they're gonna struggle big time because the transfer window kind of ruined Chelsea's summer. They only got Mateo Kovacic, but I'm not really high on Kovacic this season. Yeah, they got Mason Mount and Tamari. Let's be honest, they need to step up. This is not the Championship. Just because they done well with Derby last season doesn't mean they're gonna do well at Chelsea this season. They need to step up. I go with I would go with a 1-0 win for Man United, but I think they'll get a 1-1 draw. So that was my predictions for matchday 1 of the new Premier League season. Hope you like it. Leave your thoughts, comments section below. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Hope you're looking forward for the Premier League season. Hope your teams do well. So this is Central Man officially signing out.